Today's video comes from the amazing park right next to my condo. What a location for a psychology and just general conversation type of video. So I'm not just going to stand up here on the walkway the whole time. Probably go sit down there, some nice looking seats. The topic of the video today is how I handle losses in trading and the different psychological reasons people struggle with it, because it's not the same for everyone. That's what people get confused. I always see, oh yeah, just handle losses by doing this. It's always one general reason, and to be honest, there's loads of different reasons it may be. So I'm going to break those down in this video. By the end of it, I have a new perspective on handling losing trades. Okay, so the first part to this concept you have to understand and figure out is, why do you actually think losses are a bad thing in the first place? Now, there's many different reasons for this, which I'm going to go into now, and you need to identify which one of these it is for you. Maybe it's a mix of multiple, maybe something completely different, but this will give you ideas of what to think about. So first of all, the first reason is your brain views losses as moving you further away from your goal, as being profitable. Now, this is an incorrect mindset to have, because losses are of course a part of trading. When your brain thinks you're doing something opposite to what you want to achieve, it's going to try and do something to negate that. And if your brain seeing something as a fear, a fear of getting further away from your goal, I've said this many times in the past, always equates in action to overcome that. Now, of course, in the trading space, this is not a good thing, because then your action becomes something to undo that loss, to get back that loss. And so you end up on a spiral. Things always get worse when you have this mindset. So you have to be focused on the actual trading. The quote I always say is, trade the markets, not your account. What this means is, don't let your balance, what the account balance is, affect your trading. It should be trade by trade, each one individually. This should have no effect. Now, when you don't view losses from this perspective of something that's moving you further away from your goal, then you view them as part of the process, and it becomes a lot easier to handle losses. Okay, the second reason here is that your brain exists in a world, all of ours, that operates in certainties. Now, what I mean by this is, everything around us, 99% of things, they're certainties, right? If an apple falls from a tree, it's going to go to the ground. Every action you take has a direct effect that happens after it. Our brains are trained to think this way from a young age, not just in terms of physics of life, but also in terms of school and the mindset that all of us are sort of raised with. There's right and wrong. That's simply how it is. There's right and wrong. Did you get the answer correct? Did you not? That's how you level up in life. That's how you move forwards. We all go to school for the first 18 years, maybe a lot more of our life, and so we all are trained to think in this mindset. Certainties as well, it just helps you with survival, right? If you go and you're in the caveman brain and you walk up to a dangerous animal and it bites you, then you end up dying for some reason. It's a certainty, so our brain knows to avoid it. Trading is not like this. Trading operates in probabilities. So you now have to develop a completely different way of thinking just to become a profitable trader. Nothing is certain. When you enter on a zone to go long, it's not certain that it's going to go long. It can go any direction. The candles can print any sort of way to get there, any sort of way to get to stop loss. It completely doesn't matter what happens, and it's always going to be random. You never know it. That's why you have to reframe your mindset. So when you view in this, when you think still, not in a probabilistic fashion, which has to be trained, because absolutely none of us ever do when we get into trading. It has to be trained. So once you get into a probabilistic state of viewing things, then losses don't become a problem, because you never expected a win in the first place. So detaching yourself from the outcome, not expecting anything, and this happens over time, but learning to think in probabilities. If you're able to think this way and develop this type of mindset, then that's another reason why you might currently be viewing losses as a bad thing and not being able to handle them. Okay, this third one is something, namely, that I see specific traders, let's just call them ICT traders, having a problem with, but it is something that all of us have definitely experienced, at least to a small amount, and that is a victim mindset. So the reason I say the joke with ICT traders is because it's all, we're getting used as liquidity, the algorithms targeting us, all this nonsense stuff, right? It's just a way to have a victim mindset, and I said this in my last video, put blame onto the markets and not onto yourself for making stupid mistakes, that whatever they're doing, right? It's just a way to justify things. So a victim mindset is of course not going to be helpful when you take losing trades, because you're going to be thinking, oh, the markets are doing this to me. And when you feel it's a personal attack, when you feel like something's happening to you, of course it's not going to be very helpful, right? You're going to feel some type of way, a negative emotion, whether it's annoyed, whatever it is. That's going to create bad actions and also a bad mentality about the trade that you just lost. So not having a victim mindset, the markets recently have been an amazing test of this for me, because the last 5 trades or so that I entered ended up going more or less directly to TP after 1 or 2 candles when Trump has said something, a tweet about tariffs, that instantly go, not in our direction, stop us out, and the trades end up winning. So missing out on over 20-25% because of something specific as soon as I enter trades. It'll be so easy right now to get a victim mindset, blame Trump, blame the markets and all this random stuff. But you have to stay focused and not let this sort of negative thinking get to your trading, because if I had been affected by this, sure, maybe the first trade it wouldn't have been that bad. Oh, what's Trump doing? He's messing up my trade, whatever. Second trade, wow, this guy's really doing it again. Come on, man. By the 5th trade, I'm going to take some kind of negative action. Maybe it's revenge trading, something stupid, to undo it, because I'm going to feel like it's a personal attack and that something's happening to me. You don't want to think that way. So, how to overcome these mindsets? If you've identified what yours is already, what do you now do to get the opposing mindset, right? The one that will actually fix your problems, the correct way of viewing the markets. Of course, the first thing you have to do is identify what that is, or you're never going to get there. Once you've done that, come up with processes. They're going to be specific to everyone. Come up with processes you can use to transform your current mindset into the one that you need. None of these things are going to be instant, of course. So that's why I say the first thing you have to do, and the main thing you have to do, is simply just find out what the correct mindset is and what your current one is. Because once you've done that, even if you don't instantly know the fix, or you don't know what to do, they happen over time. And I say that because when you then do the bad mindset in the markets, whatever it may be, or you're not handling the loss correctly, you're now going to be aware of it, because you've actually figured out that you have it in the first place, and you know what the correct one is. So you can start to say, oh, I should have actually thought like this. I should have been doing this. Over time, you're going to stop doing the initial action because you're thinking about it a lot. Consciousness changes, subconscious will change because you're thinking about something a lot. And so that's why trading takes time in the first place. You have to do these things, you have to master yourself. But once you've done that and you're starting to figure these things out, closing the gaps between your current performance, your ideal performance, and what sort of perspective you need to be viewing losses from. That's how you get to a stage where you can handle them completely fine. And when you're trading properly, probabilities play out, you end up profitable at the end of the day. You've done it. That is how you end up becoming a profitable trader. That's how it happened for me. And like I said, it's not instant. It's going to take a while. So just stick with it and you'll get there in the end. So that's pretty much everything. Today's video. What a difference in location. When I used to do these old videos of me just walking, talking, doing whatever about psychology, I was in some random field or just in the middle of nowhere in England. And now here I am in this amazing park. This place is incredible. It's like, the way I describe it, it looks like some sort of utopia. So there you go. There's the upgrade you can go through. That'll be everything for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.